Assalamualaikum, my name is Syafikah binti Khairul and my partner is Shifa binti Muhammad. We'd like to present about identify water pollution for environmental protection at Langat River. So we started with introduction about the Bandar Mukim. Bandar Mukim is agricultural area and traditional settlement. The agriculture activity causes of adverse impacts on the whole land. Issue was identified on the Mukim Bandar is 90% water pollution is mostly from manure and livestock manure. Some proposal issue 90% from agriculture fertilizer, 50% from industrial and 30% resident waste disposals. Data GIS analysis for this area is to according location industrial land use. Second, to protect riverbank and water body. Third, to prevent polluted water from reaching native vegetation. Lastly is buffer zone at treating polluted water. The goal is to pinpoint the source of water pollution, order to protect care the environment for poor area. Third, to find area have potential. The case study at Kampung Nirus is polluted urban area carry different of agriculture liquid water produced by agriculture industry and domestic sewage. The data that they use is inverse distance weighted IDW uses to identify water quality index. The second case study at Albaras Sayuran Coastal Basin to assign the polluted that reach Albaras River. This case study was using method data in between soil factor, slope factor, land cover factor and water cost factor to detect pollution risk surface water. Data involved we choose is slope map, soil map, vegetation map, hydrology map and not but least land use map. GIS analysis we using is overlay analysis, buffer analysis, third analysis. Firstly, for the data obtained is site analysis from Google Map during online classes. Then go to data map decided and find the data. Third, we reach the site issue causes the water polluted and get the data source. Then we go to map digitize. In ArcMap to digitize the map. Lastly, do the parameter obtained to find parameter positions.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Shifa binti Muhammad and I will be presenting for the second part. Based on the issues just now, we finally identified the main issues by using the GIS analysis of spatial analysis and 3D EM and finding the solution by using the buffer analysis. So for the first analysis we used to identify the issues is the spatial analysis. We form it into two colors, which is the first color represent for the oil palm plantation, while for the second color represent for the mixed plantation. Okay, so for the first plantation, it indicates the most active agriculture area, which it lure most of the fertilizer into the river as it located very close to the river. And for the second color, which is for the mixed plantation, it shows the least pollution to the river as the distance are far away from the river and the fertilizer or the pollution did not reach the river and absorb to the soil. So besides we use it to plot the active agriculture area, we can also use in such as the cluster analysis, for example like the tuberculosis epidemiology. So while we are getting this GIS process analysis done, there are some error occur as when we're trying to overlap the map with the existing image, it's become dark and not visible. So we redo the step again by delete the picture and recreate the stack from the first, and it finally works. Okay, so for the next analysis, which is the 3D EM analysis, we came out with the final outcome with two colors, which is the first color represent the high land elevation point and the second color represent the low land elevation point. So for the first color, it represents the high land elevation point, which is the minority in our side. The steep slope promote a fast surface runoff and it reduces the chance for the water to infiltrate into the ground as it drier than the flat areas. And for the second color, which is low land elevation point, it represents a minority in my side. Soil at the top of the hill have the higher moisture content rather than soil at the top, causing the soil at the bottom to saturate faster, produce a greater volume runoff toward the river. from a management practice, it is desirable to reduce or in the other case, avoid the use of the fertilizer application close to the water bodies area, as it will encourage more pollution to the river. Based on our experience on getting this analysis done, we have an error occur as we won't be able to transfer or we won't be able to create a tin to the DEM analysis. So we identify that by recreate the tin file and change it on the environment setting and use the same as the mungkin bandar layer, we can finally success create the DEM layer. So after we finally done with the GIS process, we finally came out with the final outcome for the buffer. We came out the result with 3 colors. So for the first color, with the 100 meter distance, it represents the suitability for the recreational activities, as the recreational activities were positively associated with pro-environmental behaviors and it's produced less pollution. So for the second color with 500 meter distance, it represents the suitability for the housing development, so that the water from the housing area will have a proper drainage system, which it will be filtered first before going to the river. The runoff washes from the rainfall and from watering the lawn, it will be filtered first for eventually appear in the river. The third color, which is with 1000 meter distance, it represents the stability for the industrial development, so that the water from the industrial did not easily lure to the river. So the longer distance of the agricultural area to reach the river, the better it was, because the excess contaminants will absorb to the soil rather than flow straight to the river. Besides using it to identify a stable distance for the river, we can also use this analysis to use it to widen and highway, which consists of parcel identify, total affected parcel, and cost estimating. While we are getting this analysis done, there are some error occur, especially when we want to cut the excess ester. The color turned into 1 and no hierarchy of the color shown. So we decided to change it on the setting by clicking on the symbology and click the add values, and the color of and the hierarchy of color finally shown again.